Just me and my shed with my iPod problem. This is a problem. I've ironically put an old school repair badge on the back, purely for identification purposes. The scantily clad lady gets in the way a little bit, but the reason this is interesting to me, it was part of a job lot of 5th gens, 30GB. It was originally white, needed a clean. It was empty. It came from a cancer research shop online. They're often good because they, with the best will in the world and no disrespect, don't really know what they're dealing with, so they often don't know whether to call it a 5th gen or a 6th gen or anything. So I generally find the less the seller knows about what they're selling, the better. And it is for that reason I avoid anything that says Wolfson DAC on it, because then the seller knows what they're dealing with, and literally I don't care what kind of DAC they have as long as they play music. If you're an audiophile, then you're probably not starting with a iPod anyway, are you? You're just sticking that in a pocket. It's got some sellotape on here because that's a tip. If you are changing the click wheel, put a bit of covering over the click wheel and centre button, because otherwise the centre button will fall out. I guarantee it over and over again. What's interesting about this is, for a laugh, for fun, I got a friend of mine to 3D print an iPad front plate, which I think they did reasonably well. I had to do quite a bit of chamfering around here just to get the click wheel to fit, and you can see it's still not perfect, but you could, there is a kind of clicking effect there. But the problem was the struts. So normally where you would screw those in underneath this cover, they basically were too weedy and snapped off, fell off, broke off. So I eventually kind of just glued it on, which has rather limited my any possibility of me making it work. It didn't work in the first place. It was just an experiment, really. It was empty when I got it. It's empty now. Who knows? One day 3D printers will get better. Maybe I'll buy one and start 3D printing my own iPod front plates and selling them on eBay. I suspect not. It's only a hobby. A hobby, when it turns into a job, is no fun. But if you still like it as a fun hobby, I would recommend it. It's lots of fun. It's not cheap because the iFlash cards are 40 quid and the SD cards are 20, 30, 40 quid, and the iPads themselves 30, 40 quid. Did I call it an iPad again? Keep doing that. See, that's why I'm an amateur and not a professional. Anyway, that's the last of that one. Like and subscribe if you want, but if you've got this far, you probably don't. Later.